with the Abdallah. What is the Abdallah? What does it mean, Abdallah, Leabdil? What is the Leabdil? It's the end of the Shabbat, okay? And welcoming to the week. And Leabdil, it's when we can see the separation between the holiday and the days of the week. Leabdil, when we can see that it's different, and when we make this time different, we are going to make this time different together. And we are going from holiness to the week. The week don't have the same light. And then this is the reason, because we have three important symbols in our table. We have the candles, and we have the besamim that represent what we can smell. Yes, maybe this, or maybe a perfume, or maybe a flower, or maybe a fruit, but something good with good smell. And then we have the wine. And here we have the representation of the sense of the human being. Yes, we can see, we can smell, we can touch, and we can also, when we are drinking, we can feel. Which is the idea of the Abdallah. The Abdallah, it's to give us the opportunity to renew the blessings, a lot of blessings that we receive during the Shabbat time, to renew these blessings for the week. And when we arrive to the next Shabbat, we are going to renew again the blessings, and it's a way to renew our soul and renew our energy. And let's start with the Abdallah. I would like to bless the candle. The best things that that can happen, it's to be in the dark, okay? To appreciate the light, not this artificial light. This natural light will be very nice to distinguish and to see more. No light. Yes. No light. To appreciate the light, we need to be dark. Okay. Let's see, it's working. הנה אל ישועת יפתח ולא יפחד, כי עוזי וזמרי אדוני ויהי לי לישועה, ושבתם מים בששון ממענה הישועה. לאדוני ישועה לעמך ברכתה סלה, אדוני צבאות עמנו משגב לנו אלוהי יעקב סלה, אדוני צבאות אשר ידם בוטח בך, אדוני יושיע מלך ינינו ביום קוראנו. ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר, כן תהיה לנו. כוס ישועות עשו ושם אדוני אקרא. And this is a very nice melody created by David Friedman, Zichronah Livracha, and I will invite you to sing with me. Yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, ya ra rai rai ya ra rai. Yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, ya ra rai rai ya ra rai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agafen, borei peri agafen. Amen. Yai rai ya ra 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 rai rai. Yai rai ya ra 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 rai rai. Nice voices. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bore minei besamim bore minei besamim. Amen. Rai ra 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 rai rai, rai rai ra 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 rai rai. More. Once again. Yai rai ra 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 rai rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai rai, yai rai ra rai 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 rai, ya ra rai rai ra ra rai. Before the next blessing, let me explain something that it's very important. Each blessing, when you have Baruch Atah Adonai, when you have blessed is the Lord our God, always when you find this first part in any verse, first of all, you know that it's a blessing. Baruch Atah Adonai. Blessed is the Lord our God. Then the rule, when you know that it's a blessing, the rule it's always when we finish a blessing, we need to answer Amen. Okay? Amen, it's the desire that we bless will come through. Okay? It's real. It's true. And then we confirm when we finish the blessing, we say Amen. Okay? For the next blessing, I will ask you to do something special with your hands. Please close your hands. And it's not necessary to see the light. You will see the idea is to look at your hands and to put your hand in the direction of the light and see your hand. You can see my hand. Yes, I turn to one side and I turn to other side. What happened? This is something symbolic, but it's very, very nice. When I turn my hand to one side to the other, you can see that here is dark and here it's light. Yes, but when I move my hand where was dark, it's lighty, and here that was dark. Yes, it's all depend the moment. This is the represent the week and the Shabbat. The week, the days of the week, I like it's a little dark, okay? And Shabbat it's the light. And when we move our hand, we can see how quick everything change for darkness to light. The same happen with our lives sometimes. Yes, we are in the darkness and everything is bad, everything is terrible. We are in a difficult situation, but just with a small movement, everything change. And the movement sometimes depend of us. And this is also something that we can see and we can study from the Abdallah. And the most important thing that our people, we as the people of Israel, we have many, many times in our story, darkness. We were in the darkness and we change with the movement and we are in the light. Okay, let's bless the candles. Let's do together this third bracha. Yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, ya ra rai rai ya ra rai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bore meorei ahesh bore mehorei aesh. Amen. Yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, yai rai ra 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 rai rai, ya ra rai rai ra rai rai. המבדיל בין קודש לכל חטאותינו הוא ימחול, זרענו וכספנו יבא כחול, וככוכבים בלילה. המבדיל בין קודש לכל חטאותינו הוא ימחול, זרענו וכספנו יבא כחול, וככוכבים בלילה. This is a very nice music from the Havdalah, and we remember now when we are arriving to the end of the Havdalah, we need to put the wine in the plate. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המבדיל בין קודש לחול בין אור לחושך בין ישראל לעמים בין יום השבת לששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול. המבדיל בין קודש לכל חטאותינו ימחול, זרענו וכספנו ירבה כחול, בכוכבים בלילה. And we always finish with hope. When we are singing for Eliyahu Hanavi, it's the hope for a better time. And we are thinking that Eliyahu will come back and he will announce the Messiah time will be a perfect time for the humanity. Time of peace, time of redemption, time of recognition of the people of Israel. Israel will become Or Lagoim, light to the nations. And this is our wishes, and this is the way that we are finishing the Havdalah. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Atishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Agiladi, במהרה יבוא אלינו עם משיח בן דוד, במהרה יבוא אלינו עם משיח בן דוד. Jason, please, you can turn on the lights and we can sing to start the new week. אליהו הנביא, אליהו התשבי, אליהו הגלעדי. אליהו הנביא, אליהו התשבי, אליהו הגלעדי. במהרה יבוא אלינו עם משיח בן דוד. במהרה יבוא אלינו עם משיח בן דוד, עם משיח בן דוד. Please look to the person that you have in your side and wish Shavua Tov, a nice week. Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. The Havdalah, it's one of the shortest ceremonies that we have in the Jewish tradition, but it's so beautiful. And we can see in the symbols the richness of this ceremony. We don't need big ceremonies. Sometimes we have short ceremonies, enough. Okay, my dear friends, you are invited for a special evening of Selichot. And we are here to prepare our soul for Rosh Hashanah. And we are not just us here, Jewish around the world, exactly during this evening, during this night, they join in the different temples, in the synagogues, to prepare their souls for Rosh Hashanah. 5785, it's a big number, a very big number. But if we take a look in the history, okay, of the humanity and this history of the people of Israel, this reflects our time. I would like to discuss with you about the importance to forgive the others and what it means to forgive my friend, my relatives, the people who I love, how we can forgive, how difficult sometimes is to forgive. The Jewish tradition have something that it's really very nice. We have always a second opportunity. We have always a second chance. And we are human. We are not perfect. Who is perfect? Just God. Okay, Adonai. I don't know no one in this earth that it's human, that it's perfect. And if someone considers himself or herself perfect, perhaps it is selfish, but it's not as perfect. It's very difficult. When we recognize in the others qualities, the entire community call to this person tzaddik. It's someone, tzaddik or tzaddikah. It's someone who follow the justice, and it's recognized by the society, by the community, by the family as a tzaddik. But he's not looking to be a tzaddik. It's not a profession to be a tzaddik. Okay, you don't receive a tag tzaddik or tzaddikah. This is something that coming in a natural way, because you follow mitzvot, you keep mitzvot, you are a good person. And what is first, to be a good person or to be a good Jew? I'm thinking that it's to be a good person. If you are a good person, you will be a good Jew. Okay? Don't try to be a good Jew, because perhaps you put a lot of energy to be a good Jew and you forget to be a good person. This is coming together. If you are a good person, of course that you will be a good Jew. Let me start with something very, very simple and something very, very difficult: to recognize our mistakes. I'm talking about that we are not perfect, but through our path, when we are looking back, sometimes it's very difficult to recognize our mistakes. People don't like to recognize mistakes. Yes, we are right. Okay, everybody's right. And we are in a century that the people don't recognize mistakes. And sometimes if they don't recognize mistakes, it's very difficult to hear, forgive me. How many times did you hear during the year, forgive me? Someone who did something bad to you, and the person don't recognize the mistakes. Judaism gives us elements to, first of all, to be good persons, okay? We have inside this ark, this holy ark, we have the Torah, we have the scrolls. And we are not in a museum, we are in a temple. If we believe that these scrolls are just to put inside the ark, we are wrong. We need to take these scrolls with us and to apply what is written in these scrolls. And we need to keep mitzvot. When we keep mitzvot, we are better persons. Okay? And why we have so many mitzvot? Rambam, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, in the 12th century, he wrote Mishneh Torah, an important book, in a time without computers, without machines. He studied the Torah, the entire Torah, and he arrived to the conclusion that we have 630 mitzvot. It's a lot. Yes, it's a big number. 630 mitzvot. We can divide in two groups. The first group, 365 mitzvot, commandments, like the days of the year in the Gregorian calendar. It's very easy to remember. 665 commandments. We call these commandments negative commandments. They are not bad commandments, take care of this. Negative commandments in the way to understand what we can't do, what is forbidden for us to do. 365. And we have in the other side 248 commandments, the things that we can do and we need to do, and it's part of our obligations to do as a Jews. And of course, sometimes it's very heavy. Yes, it's a lot of commandments. And the question is why we have so many commandments. Why this big number, 630 commandments? Who can explain? For what? We can remind, perhaps not, we can remember a small number, but why 630? Which is the explanation? One of the explanation is exactly what I said at the beginning. Nobody can say, I keep all the commandments. Okay? Then I am a tzaddik because, yes, number one, yes. Number two, yes. Number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 600, 601, 600. Okay? I'm a genius. I'm an example for the humanity, for my community. It's a big number. It's really very difficult. And it's very boring if we keep all the mitzvot, because what we are going to do next year, okay? With commandment, we are going to add, or how will be our challenge, what we can do more to say, okay, what can be our motivation? Then we have a big number, a very big number, and this big number shows us that we have our entire life to keep mitzvot and to understand better our tradition, to understand better what it means to be a Jew. But through the commandments, the commandments give us the opportunity to protect ourselves. Okay? It's very easy to go out of the way. Yes, it's very easy. Try to remember when you drive, okay? And you are coming to the synagogue and you see the signal stop and you see 25 miles or 40 or 45. Yes, why we need this? It's like a commandment to remember. We know that we are not in a race. Yes, we are in the middle of the city. But these signs remember us, yes, that we need to keep the rules. And then we can develop respect in our society. With the mitzvot, it's the same. It's like a sign that says, stop, go ahead, 25, 40, 45. Yes, the mitzvot are taking care of us. And what happened when we don't respect the signs? The police is coming or not. And you need to pay a heavy tax or bill, I don't know how you call this. Fine, okay, thank you. What happened when we don't respect the mitzvot? What do we need to pay? A heavy price. Yes. To whom? Where is the policeman? It's not. We need to pay to God, okay? But we can repair our behavior. And how we can repair our behavior? First of all, when we do a mistake, we need to recognize the mistake. But the challenge is to have the same situation that you did wrong, that your behavior was wrong, to go through the same situation, but to continue in a good way, okay? This is the second chance. If you do the same mistake, you didn't study nothing, absolutely nothing about the first experience. This is the way to correct our behavior and to have a second chance. This is a way that we ask God for forgiveness, okay? And there are two ways to ask for forgiveness, okay? I don't have the God's number. Hello, can you forgive me? I talking with Adonai. Can you forgive? I talking with Adonai. Can you forgive me? And I receive an answer. When we ask for forgiveness, it's an action that it's going out for us and it's returning to us. It's for us. It's not for God. It's not for God. We believe that it's for God, but it's for us. Of course, I'm sure sometimes in my mind I try to imagine God is very busy, taking care for many things. Is he or she, it's Adonai taking care for me? Perhaps yes. I'm sure that yes. But this is something very good for me. When I return to myself, when I return to my essence, to understand who I am, to understand my behavior, to understand what I'm doing bad, and to recognize my mistakes. But in Judaism, we have a second way for forgiveness. If you just call God, it's not enough. If I did something wrong with you, I need to call you. And I need to see in your face, in your eyes, and I need to say, forgive me. And for this, I need courage. This is not for anyone. You need courage. And this is something that we don't find in this world. Courage. Courage to ask for forgiveness. And this is something that we are reflecting exactly these days. Because during this period, during the entire month of Elul, Elul is the month of the reconciliation. It's the reconciliation time. And we need to be, I spoke yesterday during my speech, Ani ledodi vedodi li. It's like a relationship of love between a couple. Yes, the book, the Song of the Songs, are talk about the relationship between a man and a woman, that they became very, very close. I am for my love, and she is for me, and we create this relationship. But we need to recreate this relationship with God and with our brothers and our sisters. This is the way that we understand what we call teshuvah. Teshuvah, it's an important word during this period. Lashuv, it means return. We need to return. To where? We need to return to respect the others. We need to respect ourselves. We need to recognize our mistakes. And we need to go to the others, knock the door, forgive me. It's not easy to knock the door if you did a mistake with your neighbor, with your friends, with your family, in the place that you are working. But we are human, and we are making mistakes, and we need to stop to recognize our mistakes. And this is really very, very difficult. Sorry. We have the teshuvah, the way to return, and we have to return to us. We need to return to God. We need to return to the community. And it's a special time, the month of Elul, because we believe that really the skies are open, okay? And God is looking to us. But I'm thinking that we are looking to God. Not just Adonai is looking to us, we are looking to God. Because we are arriving to the Rosh Hashanah. We are going to find the judge, okay? I said that when you make a mistake, the policeman is not around, yes? Okay, but we are arriving to these days, and we call these days Yamim Noraim. Yamim Noraim, Nora, it's terrible, tragic days. Why? Because God, as a king, but as a judge, will determine what will happen with us in the year that will start. What happens when you are going to meet a judge? Are you going like a party? Yes, are you going happy to the court? And I'm sure not, no. Yes, you are enter with respect, okay? It's very serious, okay? You prepare yourself, you dress in an appropriate way, you enter and you are there in the right time because you will be in front of the authority. Ladies and gentlemen, the next days we will be in front of God. Perhaps you believe more, less, but we will be in front of Adonai. Yes, and we will need to show what we did good and what we did bad, and we will need to recognize our mistakes. How we recognize our mistake, and which is the way to understand this, or how we can find some help through the tefillah, through the prayers. Okay, the prayers are a way to give us the opportunity to speak if we are not ready, or if we are not prepared, or if we don't know, someone wrote different formulas, yes, to contact God and to contact the others and to ask for forgiveness. For example, we have in the daily tefillah, every day, yes, we don't need to wait to Rosh Hashanah and to Yom Kippur. Slach lanu ki chatanu, mechal lanu ki pashanu, כי מוחל וסולח חטא, ברוך אתה אדוני, המרבה לסלוח. Every day in the weekly tefillah, forgive us for we have sinned. Pardon us for we have transgressed. For you pardon and forgive. Blessed are you, Adonai, abounding in forgiveness. This is the daily tefillah, okay? We don't need to wait to Rosh Hashanah, and we don't need to wait to Yom Kippur. This is an exercise that we are doing every day, and it's a tradition. When we are reading this part of the tefillah, when we are reading this part of the prayer, we are doing this with our hand. Slach lanu. Yes. Recognizing that we did something wrong, okay, and we push a little bit our hearts. Slach lanu. And here it's something fantastic. Who knows Hebrew can understand better, and who don't know Hebrew will understand now. Slach lanu. It's a prayer that was written in plural, not in singular. Why? Because sometimes it's a shame to recognize our mistakes. Slach li, okay? Instead to say, forgive us, forgive me, forgive me. Perhaps it's a shame. The person will come and will be red, and everybody will know, oh, forgive me, I did a mistake. This is a way that we find in our prayer books, the plural. It's a way when for example, other famous prayer or popular prayers that you know during this time, Abinu Malkeinu, yes, our Father. I don't say Abi, my Father. It's not just my Father. Abinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha. Yes, we Lashon, we say in plural, okay? And this is an important way when we find in our prayers book. There are other prayers that are in singular, but the way to write the prayer in plural, nobody can say, it's me, okay? Nobody will be exposed in front of the others. In that way, I don't need to come to pray at the temple. I can stay home alone. But also, if I'm praying at home and I'm praying in plural, I have a sense of community. I'm part for something bigger. I'm not alone. And this is very, very, very important. Okay, I spoke a lot, and you were invited to the discussion. Then I need to open the discussion. And let's ask, is it easy for our generation to forgive the others? One of the questions that I asked, and it was written in the invitation, is it, we are now in a time of hate, big hate between the people. Yes, next November we have general elections here. The situation in Israel, it's very bad. The situation in Ukraine with Russia, it's very bad. Other countries in Africa fight between them. Is it easy to forgive the enemy? Is it easy to forgive the enemy? What we can see, and what we can learn from our history, okay? 90 years ago, we suffered one of the worst persecution in Europe, the Nazis, the Nazi persecution. How is today our relationship with the German people? 90 years. In 90 years, can we forgive the enemy? Yes, no. What will happen with the Muslims? How will be our relation? Now it's very bad, but how will be our relation? Next year, in 2 years, in 5 years? Can we forgive each other after everything that we are seeing? Okay, I open this microphone. I would like to hear from you, and I would like to hear from the people who is home, if you like to open your microphones, and you like also to give your opinion. Let's start, because I asked a lot of questions. Let's start with the first question. Is it easy for our generation to recognize the mistakes and to ask to forgive us or not? Come on, who would like to be? Please. Okay, say in the microphone and justify why.
If we're talking, oh Lord, if we're talking about a generation, I'll say no. Because it's a sign of weakness and of vulnerability, and nobody wants to show that.
Okay, thank you. Susan, let me, I need your help. Each time that one of you is going to speak, just say your name. I need to record your names, okay? Your name?
Trisha.
Trisha, okay. Susan Levine.
Oh, yes, you.
Come on.
So I think it depends on your upbringing and your parents. So if you are brought up to understand what forgiveness is and how to conduct yourself in the right way when you make a mistake, and your parents are good role models, I think you'll end up being that same kind of person. But unfortunately, in our society today, there's so many poor role models for kids that they grow up and they don't understand how that works. And that's why there's so many people in our prisons in the United States. One reason. I know that's not a very popular opinion, but having been an educator and been in education for 37 years before I retired, that's what I've seen.
Thank you. Please, your name?
Elise.
Elise.
Okay. Actually, I don't agree exactly with you. Families are too divided. My husband, as everyone knows how amazing he was, brought up our children fantastically, and yet they have set views politically and so on in different ways. For me, it's hard to understand. They watch media, they watch different channels that I do, and they believe these outrageous stories. And it's so hard to understand. And I used to talk to Rabbi Singer about this. And it's a complicated issue, very complicated, and very sad, very sad. So we just don't talk of things that are problems. We just talk about the weather and different ways to get along. And it's very challenging these times right now. There's too much division.
Okay. Forgive me. Boom, boom.
But Elise, you did do your job. You taught them how to forgive. They just have a different outlook, a different opinion, but that doesn't mean you didn't do your job. They're probably very understanding, but they're going in a different direction. So I think you did a good job.
Thank you. This side. Okay.
All right, well, I have a question for you, because in our current society, a lot of people don't even want to admit they made a mistake. So should you forgive someone who has no remorse because they can't admit they did something wrong? Because if they have no remorse, they're just going to do it again. So now what?
We have, as a people, a collective responsibility. Kol Israel Arevim ze b'ze. Each one inside Israel is responsible for the other. Okay, and when we are talking about behavior, and when we are talking about mistakes, and when we are talking about responsibilities, we need to remember these words from the Talmud. Kol Israel Arevim ze b'ze. Each one in Israel is responsible for the others. Because if you have a bad behavior, if you are doing something wrong, perhaps you can involve the community, you can involve your group, you can involve your temple, you can involve your brothers and your sisters that belongs to the same group. And this is very nice to see that it's not just my responsibility for my life or for my behavior. I'm also responsible for your behavior, okay? You are not my relative, but you are part of my people. And I have a responsibility of you, and you have a responsibility of me. And this is very, very nice to understand, and this is something that we find inside the Jewish community, how we are taking care for the others. And this is a collective responsibility. And this is also important during these days, because if we remember what is right and what is wrong, and perhaps you don't see that you are in a wrong way, someone can show you that you are not in the good way. And if you see someone who is doing a mistake and you see and you don't say nothing, you are responsible. You have also responsibility. Okay? This is the way that Judaism understands what is right, what is wrong, and during this time it's a time of balance. Okay? And I wish you that the good side will be stronger than the bad side, okay? It's a balance. Life, it's a balance. Sometimes there are many things that happen outside that they are pushing us to one side or the other. We don't like to go to this side, but everybody is pushing me. Okay, we are here in Riverside, the river, the waters are going in one direction, and perhaps it's not the right direction. And we need to go in the opposite way of the water. And we need to did a big effort to go to the opposite way of the waters. This is to be a Jew, to do the right thing. If the world, the entire world is thinking that it's right to go there, and the Jewish people understand that it's wrong, perhaps we are going alone to the opposite way, but we are right. Nowadays, our people are fighting against terrorism, and the entire world is going to the other way. The entire world don't support Israel. Okay? What was happened during the Second World War? The same. We were alone. 90 years later, we still alone. And all it's a point of view of values. Okay? Mitzvot. And when we are talking about commandments, commandments are important, not just between us, between the entire humanity, because we are part of this house, called world. Okay, we are not in another planet. We are in the earth, and we need to keep rules. If we are keeping rules, the idea is to build a better world, not just for us Jews, for the entire society. One of the things that I said during last week to the chancellor at the University of Riverside, or the University of California, Riverside, I came here not just to work for the Jewish community. I came here to Riverside to work for the entire society. And if you need me here at the university, please call me. Okay? This is the way that I understand my mission as a rabbi. I'm your rabbi, but I'm the rabbi of the Jewish community of Riverside. I'm the rabbi for the Jews in California. I am the rabbi for non-Jews. I remember 1 week ago, we went to a place with one of the members of the temple, and I was introduced as a rabbi, and the person didn't know what is a rabbi. Okay, for the first time he met a rabbi in a country with 6 million Jews, but it was the first time that he met a rabbi, and he didn't know what is a rabbi, just perhaps a few miles from here. And we teach what is a rabbi, okay? This is part of our mission, okay? To teach and to explain what is to be a Jew, and we need to shout when we see something that it's not going and don't follow the commandments. The Torah, it's not a book to keep inside the ark. You are the Torah. You are taking the Torah and the commandments, and you apply the commandment to be a better person every day. If you are a better person, everybody that will be around you will be a better person. Okay, with these words, I'm finished this first part of our activity of the evening. I would like to say thank you for the people who follow us in our page, or the people who enters later. And I would like to invite you, perhaps Jason, do you like to come and to announce what's going on, the order of the evening, please? Religious practices, yes, committee.
Okay, so after, whenever we finish in here, we have an oneg that is being prepared for us in the social hall, and we'll be in there for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on how long it takes Bob to get set up for the music. And then we'll come back in here. When you come back, you'll need one of the prayer books that's out on the front table that's for the Selichot service. And we'll convene back in here. It's 8:30 now, so around 9 to 9:15. And then we'll have a short Selichot service where we'll put the white covers on the Torahs, and Bob will share some of the songs, some of the themes that we'll be hearing over the course of the high holidays.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. And thank you that are home. We wish you a Shavua Tov, and we invite you to join us next Wednesday night to receive the new year here together. Yes, more information, just contact our office during the week. Shavua Tov, have a nice week. Thank you.
Shavua Tov. Shavua Tov. Yes.
Shavua Tov, Harvey. Thank you. Jory, Harvey, David, Judy, Morris. Thank you.
I guess we didn't need.
Thank you.